Welcome to the Oakley Podcast. I'm Jeremy Kellett, Director of Recruiting here at Oakley Trucking, and I'm your host for this podcast. This is episode 67. So on today's podcast, I have two of Oakley's finest owner-operators here visiting with me, and also got Mr. Dustin Eagle, one of the head recruiters here at Oakley Trucking. We're going to talk to these guys about what it's like, some of the temptations of quitting Oakley Trucking, and then also the opportunities to come back. So these two guys have actually quit Oakley Trucking and then came back to Oakley Trucking. And we're going to get their perspective. One of them pulls end dump. No, you pull a hopper, Matt. One of them pulls a hopper and Gary pulls a pneumatic tank. We're going to get their input of what all that's all about and get a little in-depth with them. Before we talk to these guys, let's get an Oakley update sponsored by Arrow Truck Sales. So, been asked several times about the company party in October. I still do not have an answer. I talked to Justin Oakley, and he said it's just a little too early to tell. We've kind of had some cases flaring back up in Arkansas, so I don't have an answer yet on the company party. But I promise you, soon as they decide when it's going to be, we'll send it out to everybody and let everybody know. Also, the pilot fuel discount, so everybody knows. So they've changed it just a little bit. We still get a 25 cents a gallon discount at all the pilot and Flying J's, but except Texas and Oklahoma. So in Texas and Oklahoma, you get a better discount, a cost plus discount. They're just trying to go state by state, so you get a much better discount in Texas and Oklahoma, but you don't get 12 times the reward points in Texas and Oklahoma. So watch your TransFlow app, all the fuel discounts. I mean, they play a big part in your every week paycheck, so be sure to check them out. Also, two guys I'd like to acknowledge with us. One is John Hosample. He's out of Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. Been with us 1 year, truck number 9749. He was pulling the hopper bottom. He is been off since like February, I think, Dustin, and fighting cancer. And, you know, the good news is we talked to him yesterday, and he is getting his voice back. He is going through therapy and hopefully going to be back here in July. So everybody remember old John Hosample out of Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. He's fighting it tough. He drives a 2016 KW and hopefully be back with us pretty soon. Another guy I'd like to acknowledge that doesn't want acknowledgement at all is Mr. Johnny Busby. He probably doesn't even listen to this or anything, but Johnny Busby is just a great guy. He's out of Colt, Arkansas. He's been with us 16 years, and he's just a great asset to the company. He drives a 2019 Peterbilt, pulls a pneumatic tank for us, great safety record, 0 CSA score. And, you know, I asked dispatch, I said, tell me something about Johnny Busby. And he said, man, I mean, he just works. He works, and when he goes home, you can't get a hold of him. And I said, that's Johnny Busby right there. So appreciate you, Johnny Busby, hanging with us for 16 years, man. Congratulations. So let's take a quick break and talk about Arrow Truck Sales. Keith Wilson and Trey down in Springfield, Missouri, those guys do a fantastic job on selling trucks to owner-operators that are looking to come on to Oakley Trucking, and just want to make sure you guys know about them. We've dealt with them a long time. They are no leases, straight financing, specialize in first-time truck buyers, 5-year or newer tractors, all makes and models, less than 400,000 miles. They run a great program there. The best thing I like about them is service after the sale. Be sure and tell them you heard all this on the Oakley Podcast, and they'll also give you a choice of $600 worth of fuel or $600 truck accessories, or they'll pay half your first month payment if you finance with transport funding. Check them out. Call Keith Wilson at Arrow Truck Sales, 573-216-6047. Give them a call and let them know you heard it on the Oakley Podcast. Okay, let's get to talking to Gary Sizemore and Matt Naveau. Naveau. Sorry about that, man. I should know that, but we just call you Matt. So. It's all right. Give our listeners, if you guys would, introduce yourself real quick so our listeners know who they're talking to. So, Gary, start with you. Tell us a little bit.
I'm Gary Sizemore out of Sealy, Texas. I've been Oakley this time for 2 years. First time I was here for 3 years. I left for about a year and a half, and then came back after that. Got 4 kids, and I had my 5th grandbaby yesterday, Julie and Anthony, and today my son's going to add me another one, so I have 6 grandkids.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's
They're coming fast and furious now. Fast and Furious 10, I guess you'd say. But pull pneumatic vac tank, which I really enjoy. I enjoy running plastics. It's gotten really good. We're making good money, and I'm getting by the house because I live at the right.
Where do you
location.
live?
I live in Sealy, which is just west of Katy, Texas.
Okay.
Just west of Sealy, or west of Houston, right on I-10.
What do you do in your spare time, your home time?
Honey-do lists. Anna's got me rolling.
So you got a wife?
But yeah.
How long you been married?
We've been married for about 20 years now, and I should know exactly, 19. But we like to go down to Galveston. She likes the beach, and I like the cabin in the creek. So we have to we decide whether, like, one vacation we'll go to the beach, next vacation we'll go to Colorado, and we love going to Kentucky and spending time with the grandkids and stuff like that. So
you got a full schedule.
and I like to ride my Harley when it's not too hot. I'll ride my Harley.
Good deal.
I live in that area.
What about you, Matt? Tell us a little bit about you.
Matt Naveau, pull hopper. I'm from Columbus Grove, Ohio. Married. Been married 6 years.
Nice.
Got a little boy. He's 2.
What's his name?
Deacon. Yep.
Nice.
And we got another one going to be here in September.
Congratulations.
And
You pull hopper.
pull hopper.
And how long you been with us?
I started back here beginning of March.
Okay.
And I worked here before about a year and a half.
Okay.
What
do you do in your spare time at home, you and your wife?
Play with the boy.
Deacon?
Yeah. He's turning into a little speed junkie, so 4-wheeler. We got a 4-wheeler at home, and he just faster. And
Yeah.
he throws his hand around like that. And
He wants more of that,
yeah.
doesn't
Keeps you busy, don't it?
Yep. We got a bunch of ruts in the yard from where I just mash on it and tear
Yeah.
the grass up in the yard.
That's fun times right there when they're that age. Good
Yeah.
stuff, man.
He's fun.
Well, let's let's let our listeners know, because I think this I wanted to do this podcast, and kind of call it the Rehire Podcast, to give these guys out there just what happens, with somebody, the temptation, wanting to leave a company, and then how that all works out. And I'm sure you both got different stories and how that works out, and then the process of not letting pride get in the way, maybe, to come back. So first of all, I guess I didn't introduce Dustin, but Dustin's been on here before. He's a recruiter, and
Thanks for having me back.
You're a 2 or 3 timer, ain't you? Or
I'm
something?
about a 4-timer now.
Are you a 4-timer? Okay.
But I do want to appreciate these guys coming in.
Yeah, very much so. And that I do appreciate that, because I know you need to go to work today. But I got you in here anyway. So I just wanted to do that, a Rehire Podcast, to try to get our listeners an idea of what's going on, and it may help somebody on the fence now trying to make a decision. So, what is it that makes you want to quit a good job in the first place? Either one of y'all? What do you think, Matt?
I left on the home time front for getting home every day, but it actually didn't end up working out the way it was supposed to. But it's easy to leave off like social media. You see a lot of ads, a lot of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like saying it's the greatest thing, you know what I mean? Then if you end up looking into it and going, most of the time it's not.
So you were looking more at a home time deal.
Yeah.
And you get over there, and
I was home, but I might as well have been on the road, just with the amount of time I was home,
explain that. Go ahead.
Was you working all day long, 14, 15 hours a day?
Yeah, working all the time, and my wife and I were on a different schedule. So I was working night, she works days. I didn't see her all week anyway. So it was.
But it was an owner-operator position?
Yeah. Hauling steel, local. But
What made you, I mean, I know that's the tempting part is being home, but I guess you just wasn't making the amount of money.
No.
Plus you were gone. You're doing different shifts.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Gary?
Well, I was a company owner-operator. This was the first time I've been owner-operator with Oakley. And I had 15 years at a company job. And you don't stay 15 years unless you got a good thing going. But I always wanted to be an owner-operator. So for the last year or so at that 15 years job, I was always researching and trying to find, and finally I decided I wanted to do it. And then after you decide to be an owner-operator, then you got to find a company, okay, who pays what. And I'd already been a van driver, and I knew I didn't want to bump docks anymore. At least I thought I did. So I said, well, look, Oakley, I've heard nothing but good things about them, and the pay was up there. And I figured this would be a good place to start. See, I wanted to get my own authority and book my own loads someday. So I figured this would be a stepping block on doing that. So I came over here, and the money kept coming in. Everybody treated me so well. Miss Wendy took care of everything, orientation, Randolph. And so I was thinking, well, owner-operator, this is a good deal. And the money was coming in. And I thought that if I got this much money, I can go on and the money will come easier when I get my own authority and go book my own loads and stuff. Well, talking to brokers and stuff is constant. It's a constant battle. For me, I thought I would enjoy it, of booking my own loads and finding freight, but finding freight's not that easy. And especially when you might have 2 or 3 loads and you have 20 people trying to get that load, So I jumped ship.
So how long were you here the first time?
I was here for 3 years. I was here for 3 years, and I said, well, I could do this. I want to go find my own freight. So I started doing that, and it was constantly looking for freight. Well, I have Tiffany doing that for me. I'm on the way to a shipper or a receiver, and that's what she's doing is trying to find me. I don't have to look for it. I don't have to, at the end of the day, I don't have to bring out my laptop and start finding freight because they're finding it for me. And so it got to a point that when I was home on my days off, I was on the laptop looking for freight, instead of enjoying my day off.
What'd your wife think about that?
My wife said, she said, when you were off with Oakley, they left you alone. We enjoyed our time together, but ever since you've done this, you're spending our days off on the computer looking for freight. And let me tell you, at first it was fun. I thought it was really fun. Oh, I can find this load from Houston going to Cleveland or Cleveland, and then I'll book a load in Buffalo coming back to Peoria. No.
So you had your own authority. You went.
I went to Landstar and was booking freight through them.
Oh,
is what
okay.
I was doing. See, I was going to get my own authority and get my own trailer. So I was doing that stepping stone, get owner operator. Then I was going to start booking freight, talking to brokers and stuff. And I realized that I wasn't any good at it, probably because I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. And so I did it for about 1.5 years. And I always thought about going back to Oakley, talk to my wife about it. Because you don't like to go back when she leaves something, You want to succeed.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, when you look at the checkbook, you're not succeeding, and you start thinking about, okay, I need to cut back on this. We kept thinking it was going to get better, And I had 3 loads that I booked. I think I was telling you about it earlier. I had 3 loads in a row that I booked, and when I got to the customer, it didn't ship for some reason. It wasn't there or whatever. And getting some money out of a broker because the load wasn't there or not shipping is hard. And they might give you $100 maybe if you're lucky. So that third day, 3 in a row, I was sitting in Mount Bellevue, Texas, and here come Tommy Kaysen pulling in the driveway. Hey, Gary, how you doing? Hey, Tom, how you doing, bro? Doing good, man. I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm not. And then I said, what's it like over there? He said, man, it's getting better. It's always getting better. It's always good. And he said, man, you need to call Jeremy, or you need to call Dustin or call Kent. And I'm thinking about it, and I went home and I talked to my wife about it, prayed about it, and my wife said, you need to go back. You need to go back. And it wasn't that I didn't want to go back, it was just the idea of coming back to another place. So I contacted Kent, and he was like, oh man, you didn't burn no bridges here. You're one of the guys, because they won't take everybody back. They won't. And when he said that, and he talked to Micah, and he talked to you, Jeremy, and everybody says, absolutely. Manley says absolutely. It made me feel good.
Good.
It made me real, and I came back, and when I came back, it was, nobody had no attitude. They were welcoming me back. Hey, they remembered me. You guys remembered who I was, and I felt really good. And I'm not going anywhere until, if I leave Oakley, something's drastic got to happen, or, you know, everybody got to retire sooner or later. But I'm working here until it's time to retire. That's
good news. We hope so. We want you here.
Absolutely. I enjoy it here, and Tiffany's is a pleasure to work with. We got a good relationship. We're not finishing each other's sentences yet, but we're close to it. But she's doing good, and I'm, you know, just if you're on the fence about coming back, and you're able to come back, I'd give them a call.
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor. For the past 6 months, Lube Zone and All-Star Truck Repair have been a proud sponsor of the Oakley Podcast. We've enjoyed telling you all about their network of locations and exclusive discounts they're offering Oakley drivers. Just in time for summer, Lube Zone is offering an AC tune-up service to help you beat the heat. So if your AC is struggling to keep up with the rising temperatures, don't sweat it. Lube Zone has got you covered. Swing by any of their locations, especially if you're running in the Houston area. I spoke with Jeff Porter the other day, who informed me they are featuring a wheel alignment service now, which runs $100 for a single axle and $225 for a 3-axle alignment. And they're also going to extend the $40 discount for oil changes at all Lube Zones through September. Lube Zone and All-Star Truck Repair are taking great care of us out on the road and at home on the Oakley Podcast. Check out lubezone.com for more information, or visit one of their locations and tell them you heard it on the Oakley Podcast. So it's I'm seeing two different scenarios. You know, Matt he wanted more home time.
Mm-hmm.
He started. I'm assuming, Matt, you had your wife or yourself, y'all talking about it. Hey, you need to be home more. Got a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, can we get home more? So at that point, do you start looking? Or do y'all always have people hounding you about jobs and friends?
Yeah, it all depends. With where I'm from, we don't really have a whole lot. I mean, with the home daily, you know. So
where you live?
Yeah, but that pays, you know, good. So.
Do you have other companies calling you every day?
I made the mistake of signing up for you can get on, I forget the name of that website, just like the Truckers Report. You're looking at jobs, you know, whatever. I signed my phone number and email up, and it was daily, you know. I mean, mega carriers calling me saying, you know, come on, we need you, you know. I mean, daily, numerous calls a day, you know. And it's like, oh, no. Then I realized after going where I did, doing what I was doing, I realized what I was missing out on here.
What was that?
Just the atmosphere. I mean, I was pulling a dump. My dispatcher was awesome. And just the attitude and the welcome, you know. And that's when I called Dustin. Said, I've been listening to the podcast. What we think about hoppers on the east side.
Yeah.
And said, let me talk to the guys. And I think it was like 6 minutes later, he calls me back. Says, we can get you home every weekend, dude. And I said, well, when can I be in orientation to come back?
Awesome.
So,
and feel good to get back?
I love it. Love it.
Your wife like it? She good?
Yeah, we're our relationship is sometimes me being gone more. If I'm home all the time, I'm just about driving her crazy. You know what I mean? And you can probably vouch for that.
Absolutely, been there, yeah.
But I'm home every weekend, and
that works out good.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, and what I was going to there, Eagle, was, he signed up and got recruited for the most part, looking at more home time, and then they bombarded. Gary, to me, a lot of guys are probably like Gary, come in that, do a lot of truck drivers think that one day I want to have my own, I want to be my own, have my own truck, have my own trailer, have my own authority? Is that a lot of people's goals out there, is to do that one day?
I believe so. That was mine, because I was thinking I'll go out and then book my own freight. I'll be my own man, and I'll go where I want to go, and sometimes that doesn't work out like that. Reality sets in, and there's a lot of people that succeed to it, but more people fail. But at Oakley, you fail because you don't work. If you work, you'll succeed over here. Our bank account is back up, looking good, but not Matt likes to get home every weekend. I usually stay out 16, 17 days, but when I go home, I'm home for 5 or 6 days in a row, and that's how I like it. And that's what's good about Oakley, is you can pretty well be home every weekend, or you can stay out like I do every third weekend.
I think we see a lot like Gary's story. We hire a lot of first-time owner-operators here in Oakley, and we make it easy for an owner-operator to get leased on, get started in the business, and then a couple years down the road, that's when they're thinking what Gary did.
Because you have your bank accounts looking good, and you're thinking, well, I can do this, I can make even more if I go and do my own. Now you have a few more expenses, but
yes,
but nobody's gonna empty move you and pay you out there. That's fantastic, and you hear it all the time. Everybody says it because it's true. You don't sit. I don't sit. Tiffany's got me rolling. As soon as what time are you going to be unloaded? Okay, deadhead back to get another one or whatever. You don't have to wait. Well, call me tomorrow morning. It's not like that here, and that's the best. I believe that's of all the good things about it. Probably the best thing is that you don't sit, and as soon as you're unloaded, she's got you. They've got you another load. Go here and get another one. That's probably the best thing. You don't have to worry about it. Try to find it.
Put you on the spot here, Dustin, what's the rehire policy at Oakley Trucking?
Rehire policy, well, they leave, they want to come back, we go through a couple steps. First thing we do is go talk to dispatch. How did Matt or Gary do while they were here? Do you want Matt or Gary back? It's pretty much a blunt question.
Yeah.
And most time we know the answer because we keep up with everybody pretty good, but we want to double check with everybody. Yeah. And once we get that answer, we either stop there or go to the next step. And the next step is talk to them about where they went, what they're doing, get an application on them, get them worked up, let you look at them, Jeremy, and let me and you talk about it.
Right.
The recruiting department talks about it. Talk with safety, see if there was any safety violations. Like Gary said, we don't just rehire anybody that calls in here, and we take pride in that.
Well, it's more times than not. More times we don't rehire people. That's just the facts. One is, we get our feelings hurt too.
Yeah.
But we also the big reason is, one of the big things is how you left.
Exactly.
That goes a long ways with us, and that there's a way to quit a company, and of course you guys did it right. You communicate, you come in, you do everything right, and
come in the office, shake our hands. Let's be.
It's okay. It didn't work out. I've told a lot of people that, hey, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. This is not grade school. It's okay if people need to quit, let's do it right. Just come in and have, just like you guys did, and have that door open, because you never know. And because we've seen your case, both of you cases, so many times over the years we've been here, to where guys want to better themselves, like Gary, and you can't blame anybody for that, to want to be more successful, and Matt to get home more because he's got a family. You can't blame people for that. You just, if you leave right, then you keep the door open to where you come back. And,
Absolutely.
And we have to. Shoot, how many rehires we do? That's the number two thing.
Number two way we hire owner operators.
People coming back. Yep.
Well, I know I told my wife, I said I never should have left Oakley because I'd have that more bonus money and I would never had that break in the service, But she said that you needed to leave because you always had that idea, that dream of doing your own thing. Now you got it out of your system. You know the other side of the deal. So now, and she said, I've never seen you this content with what you do for a living as I am now. And that's true. I am. I'm very content with it. I got a system going on. I got a routine going on and making good money, and I'm treated well. And, so all I can say is if you're eligible to come back, come back. That's all I can say.
If we get an idea in our head, it's hard to get it out there, isn't it?
It is. As a man, it is hard.
Before we we got to go try it out.
Yeah.
Well, and then, did this happen? You get the idea in your head, and then you talk to somebody else at Oakley, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to do it." Or do they try to find somebody to leave with them?
Yeah. Yeah. They're, and the thing is, I've talked to a couple of guys that say they're going to leave, and I've left and come back, and they're still here. So, but and it's not that they're not making money or anything. It's just that's their attitude. It's like, hey, I can make more money somewhere else, but I whatever the case may be, but
they're still here.
But there's very few like that. There's only a couple that I've met. It's not like most drivers are real happy to be here, But there's a couple that, like to stir the pot because people are people.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I say.
Oh yeah. That's part of it.
Yeah, that's part of it. You've been, all these drivers, they are.
We hate to lose anybody. We really do, and I've said this before on the podcast that, probably two of the biggest reasons are health. We lose a lot of guys for health problems and truck problems.
Yeah.
We fight those constantly, and then, unfortunately somebody has an accident, or something you have to terminate. But that's probably, wouldn't you say, your top three things
Absolutely.
that happen right there? That's very frustrating, to us because we spend a lot of time and, just like you guys, we need to make this thing work. So, but we understand situations just like you guys' situation. And that's part of life. And it's like your wife said, you got it out of your system and wished you hadn't have done it, but now and now you're on the track.
I ended up buying my own trailer when I went to haul steel.
Really?
Yeah. And that I started realizing how nice it is to not have a trailer that I don't have to pay for.
Right.
Call
a lot that goes into it.
Oh yeah. Man.
You still got it?
No, I sold it.
Good.
Yeah. I was only gone for 3 months?
3-4 months.
Like that.
Okay.
I wasn't gone long. Should have never left because, like Gary said, with the.
Well, you learn a lot quicker than I did.
I learned a lesson very fast, but the bonus and all that, I could be a little bit farther ahead on it. But
Right.
Your dad's here, right? You just started?
he is orientation this week.
That's right. You're going to train him today.
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
Yeah.
Son going to train dad.
Dad's been at it for 30-some years, and
You going to show him the ropes?
I guess.
As a matter of fact, you're going to do that as soon as you get out of here, aren't you, today?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
Jackson's got us a little plan for the weekend. So.
Well, it's just good story. You guys, and I can't say enough about y'all coming back to a place and keeping that door open and, wanting to come back. And being so good now that you're back, I can tell just by talking to you, you seem relieved.
Relieved and happy.
And happy,
Amen.
and it's good. That's That's good. What about this new pay raise and new bonus? Got any comments on that?
That's
very,
awesome.
very excited for
Yeah,
it.
very excited.
That's
That'll
all.
put me at $2.34 loaded and $1.78 empty,
Man,
and $74 a back of load. And and you're rolling. You're not sitting.
yeah.
So that's matter of fact, when I empty out here, well, after this podcast, I'm supposed to deadhead to Texas to pick up a load for Tennessee. So there you go. And
Wow.
I'm going by the house too. I go right through the house to get my load, so that worked out good.
Good.
So it worked out good.
Lots to do.
Yeah, it's and well, I want to add that a lot of guys ask me about the trucks. They see these big trucks here at big new trucks, and I said, well, paying for a truck is, and you've heard, and it's been said on this podcast before, but I just want to echo it, that if you you're going to pay for your new truck. There's no problem paying for a new truck over here. You're not. I've never sweated a payment until I left Oakley. Then I sweated a payment.
Yes,
But
that's accurate.
and that's the truth. And I've never sweated a payment as long as I've been here. And right now I've got a 2019 Peterbilt 389, and it's only got 260,000 miles on it. But I'm already looking at other ones. But I'm trying to decide what I want to do with that, because trucks are high dollar now. They're going up in price, but you won't have to worry about everything's gone up. Pay's gone up.
What's a typical truck payment on a new truck?
Well,
$2,500, $3,000?
yeah, mine's 20, right at about 2,600. I financed mine for 60 months, and
I mean, y'all, you use it like a tool.
it is. It's a good looking tool. I got it looking pretty good. So
Yeah, you do.
that's why I mentioned his orange shirt, because my favorite color is orange. My truck is orange and black, so it kind of looks like a Harley theme. So but yeah, to come over here. If you wanna ride nice equipment, you can afford a new truck over here. If that's what you want, you can do it. And a good truck can save your bacon from mistakes you make, because we all make mistakes. And sometimes a good truck will keep you out of problems, because you don't have to worry about it. It's going to stay constant. But if you can make all the right decisions in the world, but if you got an undependable truck, it can put you in a high, even if you do all the right things.
That's right. It sure
So,
can.
yeah.
What kind of truck you got, man?
579, Pete.
Nice.
I've been talking to a few buddies where I'm thinking I'm going to be pulling the trigger on ordering one.
There you go.
So
We just talked about that.
me and Gary's talked too, and the prices are going up.
They are.
Yeah.
With the raise coming, and I mean, Jackson doing what he's doing, I don't see any problem being able to take care of business. So
Yeah, there shouldn't be any problem. It ought to be a fantastic year for trucking
yeah,
to make money. So
Yes, sir.
now's the time to do
all they got to do is pull the trigger on.
it.
You
You can do it.
It's right there. I just can't go all the way with it.
Yeah.
Hey, your dad's got a brand new truck.
That's 18.
Oh, it's 18.
Yep.
Boy, it looks
Yep,
brand new.
yep,
Nice.
yep.
Anything else to add, guys?
No. But I just want to, as a recruiter, I just want to say that there's a lot of situations like Matt and Gary out there. And if you are listening, don't be afraid to call in here and talk to us.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's pride with y'all, there's pride with us, but we all can work it out. I mean, if you're out there and thinking about calling and coming back, do it. We're going to work with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and also if you're on the fence and thinking quitting is an answer for you here, if you're at Oakley and you think quitting is going to solve your problems, call us and talk to us. Make that effort to communicate
Exactly.
with us on what your needs are, what if they're fixable, because we'll have a conversation and go, man, we can't fix it, or we'll sure try. Give us the opportunities. All we're saying is communicate with us, give us the opportunity to try to fix your problem, whether it's home time, whether it's, hey, I want to go do my own thing. That's man, that's great. That's fine. Just communicate with us, but if it's something simple, that you never know, we may be able to fix. Plus,
Might be able to fix it.
yeah. Plus, we got different divisions here. Sometimes people change divisions, and that way you never leave the company. You don't lose your seniority or anything like that, your annual bonus. So sometimes that works. But man, just communicate with us is all, and you may talk to these guys. We'll give you their number, And you can call these guys and
Absolutely.
let them tell their experience again to you if you want more information. But other than that, I think, I think it's something that needs to be talked about, and it's not talked about a whole lot, is thinking about quitting or thinking about coming back, whatever it may be. So if you're one of those out there, like Dustin said, man, call us.
Yep.
Let's communicate and see what we can do.
Absolutely.
It helps us on the recruiting side, somebody like you guys coming back, because you know how to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the people
Yeah.
that we lease on have never done dry bulk, so
Right.
that's a whole different world.
Helping Randolph and orientation with the logs, and we get out of class, and I got guys from orientation class call me. Hey, I got a question about this E-log. Just a quick question. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what's going on? And TransFlow, somebody called me about that, and I've done it all. I was here, a couple months ago, so.
Good.
I kind of helped Randolph a little bit.
Well,
My orientation.
Randolph needs it sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that goes into Oakley. I think we got around 820 of the best owner operators out there.
Yeah, we do.
And we,
Good standard.
we see it in every guy that comes through this door back here. So, if you're out there listening, these guys do not mind helping you over here.
No,
That's right.
We got some great owner operators, great guys here.
You can go out there on the lot. Somebody's sitting in the seat. You can walk up to them. I got a question. They're about to get out of the truck and say, "What's going on? What do you need help with?"
Yeah.
You don't have that. I've hardly anywhere.
Right.
From what I've seen,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a great group of guys, special group of guys, I feel like,
Yeah.
too, here. So
Well, you mentioned Johnny Busby, and he's I talk to him every week
do you?
for over about 5 or 6 years now. He has helped me so much. He is something else. I tell you what, I couldn't get a load of salt off probably my first or second load ever. And I couldn't get a load of salt. He pulled in behind me. You know how he is.
Yeah.
He's cold Arkansas through and through. But what a great guy, man. I tell you what, he's the funniest guy. And you're right. Once he's home, you might hear. Same with me. I'll call him, and 2 weeks later, what do you want? But he's a great guy, man. And, yeah. And like I said, it's been 16 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, he's a good guy. He
Yeah.
really is.
We
They got
got-
a lot. I think we got several guys like that.
we got a lot of them just like
Yeah.
him. We
Yep.
really do.
I sure do.
All right, guys. Well, I sure appreciate y'all taking time out of your work day today to do this thing, and I hope it helps people that's out there listening. So if you're at Oakley Trucking and you're thinking about quitting, give me and Dustin a call first and tell us what your issue is, see if we can help fix it. And if you're out there doing something else, you used to work here and you're thinking about maybe I might have should have stayed, give us a call with that too, and we'll talk to you about coming back. So it's all good here at Oakley Trucking. We want to try to make as many owner-operators successful as possible. But to do that, got to communicate.
Yep.
So,
That's number one.
all right, guys, appreciate it.
Thank
Be
y'all.
sure, thank y'all. Be sure and check us out. Hey, I do want to say one thing about some previous episodes we've had on YouTube. Man, you guys need to go watch them on YouTube. We got a couple we've done that we put pictures with that's really good to watch if you got time out of your day to watch some of these episodes. Really good. We had Shannon Newton with the president of the Arkansas Trucking Association on. We had Jeff Bledsoe, one of our owner-operators that fought COVID and was in the hospital 96 days. You need to go watch that. That came out this past week. Good stuff on there, man, and help spread the word about the Oakley Podcast. We feel like, we're hearing more about it. It helps us in recruiting, retention, and just communicating with our owner-operators. So spread the word about it on social media. We're also just started, I might have said this on the last episode, but Corey has got us on TikTok. I know it. I don't even know what that is, but he's got us on there and playing some short videos. So check that stuff out.
Matt knows what it is.
Yeah. I'm not on it all the time.
I ain't never heard of it, I don't think.
Check it all out. Oakley Trucking and the Oakley Podcast, and we appreciate y'all tuning in every week. So we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.